Hello and welcome to Daily Politics on Trust TV. On this program, we discuss issues around politics, policy and governance. I am Hamza Idris. Civil society groups fighting corruption in the country are pushing for the establishment of anti-corruption agencies at the state level to complement the efforts of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, tackling what they call political looting at the sub-nationals. The groups who recently addressed a news conference in Abuja also worried over alleged compromise and complicity by some judicial officers at the state level, undermining effective prosecution of corrupt politicians. The civil groups are also worried over the increase in cyber-related fraud and other crimes allegedly being aided and abetted by politicians in the face of growing anger over a controversial cybersecurity levy being imposed by the government, with the House of Representatives calling for the suspension of its implementation. And it is against this backdrop we will be engaging with the Country Director, Transparency International, and Executive Director, CISLAC, Awal Rafsanjani, who will actually join us later. But we also brought to the studio the senior special assistant, to the President on Community Engagement in the Northwest, Abdullahi Yakasai, who will also actually, defend some of the actions and inactions of the administration. But while we await the arrival of, the CISLAC director, we will start the program with Abdullahi Yakasai. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Alajam.
Thank you, and we're happy to have you in the
I'm
studio.
happy to be here.
Yes, but before the conversation, here are some tidbits. Justice Silvanus of the Federal Capital Territory High Court has granted bail to the immediate First Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, his daughter Fatima, and others in the sum of 100 million naira each. The court also ordered the accused persons to produce 2 sureties each. According to the court, the accused should be remanded in prison if they fail to meet the bail condition. Sirika was arraigned on a 6-count amended criminal charge before the court. And elsewhere, the House of Representatives on Thursday directed the Central Bank of Nigeria to immediately halt the implementation of the cyber crime levy introduced by the Apex Bank in compliance with the provisions of the Cyber Crime Act. The House said the circular by the Apex Bank was prone to misinterpretation by Nigerians as it negates the spirit and letters of Section 44, subsection 2A of the Cyber Crime Act, which specify those who are expected to pay the levy. Adopting a motion of urgent public importance moved by Minority Leader Kingsley Chinda, PDP Rivers, on behalf of the entire members, the House asked the Central Bank to immediately withdraw its earlier circular on the implementation of the levy and issue another circular in line with the provisions of the Act. Chinda said Section 44, subsection 2A of the Cybercrime listed those to pay the stipulated fees as GSM and telecom companies, internet providers, banks and other financial institutions, insurance companies, and stock exchange. And we'll now take a short break. When we return, the conversation commences. Stay with us. Welcome back. As I said earlier, we have the Senior Special Assistant to President Tinubu on Community Engagement in the Northwest, Abdullahi Yakasai. Once again, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you've seen our tidbits. Number one is on the arraignment of Hadi Sirika. He served under President Buhari as, of course, Minister of Aviation. Here we are now. Has been taken to court. APC is APC. You are a chieftain of APC. Is it actually a good image of the APC as a party?
Well, thank you so much, Alhaji Hamza. You see, justice, when you're applying justice, it doesn't matter who the person is. Be it APC, be it PDP, be it any other party. If there are questions that need to be answered, one has to be called upon. The former minister, who was the Minister of Aviation in the last regime, was arraigned today, and he's facing the courts. He has to answer those allegations. If they are right, then he faces what the law says. If he's not culpable, the courts will free him. This to tell you the kind of government we have now of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Justice has to be done. People have to be seen to see that justice is being done across board.
Yes, but should I say, are you satisfied with the performance of the minister? Because at Eburu Fora, people believe that he actually did not project the image. Of course, it is before the court, so we are not going to be, prejudicial. But then, if people actually do what they are supposed to do, ordinarily, they shouldn't find themselves in a situation like this.
Well, you cannot, just like you said, we cannot say the former minister Hadi Sirika is guilty or not. Yeah. We have to actually wait for the courts to determine whether he's guilty or not. So I think at this point in time, the issue of Hadi Sirika, let's leave the courts to decide on that matter.
All right, thank you very much. And what about other criminal charges against officials of the APC? We've seen a certain governor. Now they are doing cat and mouse with the EFCC. Will it affect the image of the APC?
Well, affecting the image it might not, because it is the same government of APC. And the governor I think you're so talking about is the former governor, immediate former governor of Kogi State.
Yes.
His Excellency Yahaya Bello. He is the same member of the party, APC, and is now being called upon by EFCC to come and account for his stewardship when he was the governor of that state. So this is to tell you that this government has the sincerity of purpose to tackle issues as they are, be it on the policies, be it on the anti-corruption fight, be it in terms of the governance. That is why Mr. President, in his magnanimity, has not uttered a word or anything, because he's a member of APC. President will protect him being investigated. No, I feel the EFCC are doing the right thing, and he's been invited, and he should honor that invitation, even though he's feeling he has a court order,
yes,
which is maybe giving him that leverage. But ultimately, he will surely be called upon, and he has to account for that stewardship.
And we are talking about anti-corruption fight, stroke concerns over other issues, which we will dwell on later. But in the introductory part of the program, we said certain groups. Of course, we wanted CISLAC, and then who is also the Transparency International representative in Nigeria. He's unable to make it to the studio as we speak now. But then we actually brought you also to defend some of these things. What they are calling on is that states should also have a kind of EFCC. Will you actually support something like that?
I think every like this anti-corruption agencies should also be at the subnational, because we cannot just say, okay, all these probes, all these issues have to be tackled by either EFCC or ICPC. It should be, we should make it stronger at the subnationals. That's level. So I, in my personal view, will support seeing these anti-corruption agencies being formulated at the state level and given all the necessary backing legislation so that they'll be able to function such that it becomes a deterrent for even anyone to even think of committing any crime.
Yeah, but the snag is that when you look at INEC and you look at SEC, that is State Independent Electoral Commission, what INEC is doing at the national level, SEC, that is State Independent Electoral Commission, they are unable to do it. Just last week, we had election in one of the states. the ruling party swept everything. And if you check now across Nigeria, any state that had held local government election, I mean, you realize that it is everything, the ruling party. And some are thinking if you have another EFCC, because we have one in your home state, Kano,
Yes.
and you are actually witness to what is happening in Kano. Don't
What
you
is
think
happening?
the process?
You need to tell me.
Okay, well, you have to tell me because Muhi Magaji, who is heading the anti-corruption agency, is actually after one of your own, the former governor, and that is Ganduja. And Ganduja is saying is vendetta. It's simply because NNPP has taken over government in Kano. You are from there. You have to open up.
Yes. No, I'm not hiding anything.
Yes.
I want to look. I want you, Hamza, and our audience to look at it this way.
Yes.
You see, we cannot continue to shy away from the fact that we need institutions to be working at the subnationals, because we'll be thinking we are yet to get there. We are yet to get there. When will we get there?
Yes. And Nigeria is over 100 years.
Nigeria is over 100 years, and we're still saying we are not yet there. We are not yet there. These institutions have to be set up at the state level. The only challenge I will say is I don't also buy in to the fact that SAIC should be holding elections.
Okay.
For me, on that one, I want to see INEC conduct elections. This is one from our offices of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Community Engagement.
Yes.
Because we are the interface between the communities and the federal level.
Yes.
We are more or less like the eyes and the ears of the President.
Yes.
Whatever we feel is very important to the people at the community level, we table it to Mr. President and say,
You are just like the liaison officers of Shehu Shagari.
Shehu Shagari's time, yes.
Especially in states where NPN was not
actually there. Yes.
So now you think a semblance of EFCC will work at the state
EFCC, level? Yes. At the state level, they will work, because the EFCC at the state level, I don't think they have the enough manpower or the enough resources at the state level to tackle all the corruption that is happening within the states. So if you open up and say, okay, there are other, like the states have their own anti-corruption agencies, we have the state police, we have, I mean, gradually, there could be imperfections, definitely from the beginning, but gradually we'll be getting there, we'll be perfecting it, they will be more stronger, and they will be able to discharge their responsibilities without any interference. So we have to take the bold step and start somewhere. That has always been my argument. Let's start. Whenever you don't start anything, you can't even think of doing it. Once you start a process, be sure that a time will come when you get to your destination.
Yes.
So for me, we have to allow the states to set up these programs, because government comes and goes. If you're there today, tomorrow you might not be there. If you witch hunt someone, another person will come and witch hunt you. So we have to look at it and then put in policies, put in constitutional, the state assemblies should be able to do a legislation that will make sure, will allow these institutions created at the state level to work efficiently without interference. Once this is done, yes, by the state governors. Once this is done, then I believe with time, gradually. But we have not even started thinking of this. People are still saying we are not yet there. So when will we start it before we even get it to perfection?
The fear is that just like the clamor for state police, recently the House of Representatives held, it's kind of public hearing or whatever, because they brought all of you, former presidents and all that to debate it. Of course, there was a kind of convergence by the political class that we should have it. But the IG, even though they later made a U-turn, they said Nigeria is not ripe for state police because it will be abused. Where do you belong on that?
For me, I rather will go with the state police, because one of the fundamental challenges we are having is ignoring the communities towards nation building. If the states should have their own police, give them the strong backing they deserve. Amend the constitution, give the traditional title holders a very strong position in the constitution. They are the custodians of the people. If they work, policing is community, is a community-based activity. Because once you have a state police, the state police will be able to function well because they know the hideouts where the criminals are.
But we're talking about corruption. Even the national police, is not yet immune from these corruption tendencies. And that is why people have lost confidence in them. We're talking about anti-corruption fight. Don't you think that governors at subnational levels or even local government chairmen, when you trickle down to the grassroots, they will abuse some of these constabularies or the state police or by whatever name you call them? Once they know that they have them, they will actually, abuse the powers at their disposal.
That is, we're coming back to what I told you earlier.
Yes.
My point has always been that if we start this state police now, if you witch hunt anybody with the state police, know that a time will come when you will not be there, when someone will be there, and it can happen to you. So, I mean, a lot of programs you put in place as a governor at the state level, if you put it and you work on it seriously, assiduously, you make it for everybody to see its relevance and importance. Other people have no option than to key in.
Yeah. Because
government is continuous. So no matter what the negations are, for me, we should start it now and then gradually be perfecting it and then stop any interference. From there, we'll get to where we should be going.
All right. Now, the other issue is the Cybersecurity Levy. It's one of the many levies imposed by your government. Are you in tune with the Cybersecurity Levy?
I am. Absolutely.
You want it?
I want it.
Can you defend your district?
Yes. I'm sorry to say, but you see, fighting cybercrime, though I'm not a security expert.
Yes.
But I will tell you from the political angle.
Okay, fine.
From my own understanding, not the government stand,
yes,
my personal stand. I will tell you that fighting cybercrime is a Herculean task. And it requires a lot of funding. So much funding. From what we have now, those agencies, those within the caliber of those that should be levied.
Yes, that is the question now.
Yes.
Where should the money come from? Because the debate out there now in Nigeria is that the trader at Jabi Market here now, a wheelbarrow pusher, directly or indirectly, if he has a cell phone, he's going to be taxed. Is it not really heavy on citizens, the way the government is bringing taxes left, right?
You see, there's no government that runs itself without taxing the citizens. This is a fact. The world over, even the Arab countries, they tax themselves. So, Mr. President Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, what he's doing is he's putting in policies that will have a long-term effect. It's not something that just now will happen. No, but there are things that should happen. You will see the result over time. So these taxations from the taxes from here and there, people are saying, it's not even enough.
But the projections
to fight.
Yes, the projections.
Now, if you look at Hamza, if you look at those that are categorized to be paying this cybercrime levy, the quantum of the money, if you look at it, is not much.
It's into trillions, because the projections they put, assuming if the banks will, put it together.
Yes.
When you say, is it from people who purchase recharge card, or people who pay deposit into their account, or people who have POS and all that. It is running into trillions of naira. Yes, 2 trillion. Some are putting the figure.
Yes.
Is this not actually too much for cyber crime?
It's not too much, because fighting cybercrime, anything that has to do with artificial intelligence requires so much funding. If you change 2 trillion into dollar, how much would that be?
And we're all obsessed with dollar.
No, I want you to just compare it so that you know that what other governments around the world are spending on cybercrime is nowhere near what we are talking about here.
But are you not really running faster than your
So
schedule?
you see, yes, people, because maybe probably the removal of the fuel subsidy, there's hardship, yes, in the land, yes, no two ways about it. But it is a decision that has to be taken, that has to be made. So now any little thing, you say you taxing Nigerians, they'll feel you're putting hardship on them. But for you to tackle those challenges, you need to you need to get people to pay for this service.
And Abdullahi, maybe it's because yeah.
Like the cybercrime we talked about, we cannot, the federal government cannot, has no money to fund this fighting of cybercrime, to bring it to a halt. So how do we go about it? Do we borrow money and then be putting our neck deep in borrowing instead of just taxing people?
But do the citizens, some, I think, I saw a joke, you know, is it on TikTok?
Yes.
Somebody calculating these layers of taxes, you know, and he claimed that the salary is not up to even 30,000. It's not up to minimum wage. He said now with all these taxes
but if you look at what President Bola Tinubu is doing,
yes,
immediately he came to power. He reviewed the salary structure of the judiciary. That was the first thing he did.
Why? Why the judiciary?
Wait, let me land. That is one. He reviewed upward review of the health workers. And now in his speech last week, even though Levy have rejected, he has also the civil servants
25%.
Yes.
Mala Abdullahi, let's be sincere.
I'm coming. It's a gradual process. We have removed fuel subsidy. So we have to apply those resources from the subsidy that has been saved into different channels. He has increased this levy. He's working on the hospitals. There's a social register that people are being paid stipends monthly. It's coming back on board. The 50,000 is already being rolled out. The 20,000 for 3 months is because we had challenges in the ministry. That was why it was stopped. I'm part of that committee now working on it. We'll still resume disbursing that 25,000 that will go for 3 months.
Domicile in the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs.
Yes, that is. I'm coming, Hamza.
Yes.
That is improving the welfare of the citizenry. He has done that for the public civil servants, judiciary, health workers, and the civil servants. Now, for the common man, they're getting incentivized with this unconditional cash transfer. Then you come again, you look at other areas that the president is working on. The student loan that is being introduced now. No student in Nigeria now will be a dropout. We'll never have an issue.
Projection.
No. The money is being promulgated. It's now an act. He has signed it into law. So now, every student, if you cannot afford to finish your school because of school fees, if you're say in the University of Abuja or Kano, you have the chance to go and take that loan and pay. Then for there's also consumer credit. You have your little business, go there, apply, present the requisite requirements, and you get this consumer credit. These are all things Nigerians can benefit.
And I have questions on each and every of these things you mentioned. But I want to still go back to the cybersecurity levy. I said earlier that I saw a joke somewhere, and I also saw a post somewhere. The person was making reference to what happened with one of the governors of Niger State. You know, when the Mina the roads are bad. You know, when you go to Silesia, no water, nothing. But that governor said he was going to build castle on Zuma Rock. You know, he even used helicopter to get there. Some are now equating this cyber security to that action of that governor. I don't want to mention
I didn't get you. What is equating?
You have problem on the ground, and you want to go to solve problem, you know, in the space. Now you have bandits everywhere. You know, a lot of problems on the ground. You are now talking about solving. People see activities of bandits, activities of armed robbers, and other non-state actors that we've been battling with for nearly 2 decades now as the existential problem that we should marshal resources to solve, instead of, because many believe that the cyber something is just phantom of sorts.
It's not. If you know the quantum of money being lost through cybercrime is enormous. So we have to fight that cybercrime. Every country is doing it. Why won't we do it? And we have to work on the resources that is needed to do this thing. The Niger State government people you're talking about.
Yes, I read it somewhere. It's not Babu actually. Anyway, it's Babangida. It's Babangida Aliyu.
Oh, Babangida Aliyu.
Yes, when he was governor, you know, he said he was going to do, is it something, you know, on Zuma Rock. People said beneath the Zuma Rock, you even have estates there that were built by a certain governor. Complete them.
Up till now, they have not been occupied.
They are there, yes. So it's like misplacement of priorities.
Well, that is PDP government. If we want to delve into PDP government issues, they're numerous. So we're now talking of this present government.
So you strongly believe?
I want people to believe in the sincerity of purpose of Mr. President. Mr. President has this country at heart. Bola Ahmed Tinubu was a governor for 8 years in Lagos.
Yeah.
Up to today, there's no any governor from 1999. If there's any mention for me, Hamza. There's no governor that has achieved what Bola Ahmed Tinubu did.
But I will ask questions.
Now,
anyway.
he is the president.
Okay, fine. Abdullahi, I will plead that you hold your breath because we have reached half of the program. When we return, I will ask you questions on some of these issues that you pressed. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, and viewers, don't go away. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back. If you are just joining, you are watching Daily Politics on Trust TV. Do well to follow the conversation across our social platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and watch us live on YouTube. And in the studio, we still have the Senior Special Assistant to President Tinubu on Community Engagement in the Northwest, Abdullahi Yakasai. Once again, welcome back to the program.
Thank you.
You are trying to defend actions and inactions of the Tinubu administration, and this is coming, you know, amidst growing anger. Do you visit Kano? Let's be sincere. Do you go to Kano?
I go to Kano.
You go to your neighborhood in Kano?
Yes.
Nobody's told you?
I've been doing a lot of programs in my local government, in my community, in my state, Kano.
Maybe with your personal resources?
Not at all.
With government resources?
Well, not government resources, but programs of government.
What are the programs? Because we believe that Tinubu or your government is now 1 year. It is, Abdullah, it is all about promises. You reel out many now. Okay, we will start conditional transfer. The CNG buses will come. The electric vehicles will come. Nigerians are actually agitated. That is why I ask whether you ever visit, because there was this report that even the national chairman of the party visited Kano just 2 times or 3 times since he became chairman, because nothing to show, nothing to tell people of Kano, despite the enormous votes they gave Tinubu.
No. What maybe probably made the chairman not to be going to Kano is because for peace to reign, because now we are having a different government in that state, which is not APC. That aside, you see me,
yes,
I will tell you,
yes,
that through my office,
Senior Special Assistant on Community Engagement,
I don't have a budget in my office. I don't have a budget. But we are placing our youth, our market women, into this register. It's not a hearsay. It's not like it's going to happen. It's happening. The first month, people have received that money. This month, a lot of people have gotten that.
5,000 or 10,000?
50,000.
50?
This month.
You are sure, Abdullahi?
I'm sure, 50,000.
Why are people not saying anything
That is what happened. When we put the people on the register for that 25,000 that started December, by Christmas, by end of December, everyone has gotten that money. But the people who place their names in there to get these funds refuse to utter a word. We have to ask them, have you gotten your alert? Have you seen your alert? They said yes. The federal government has distributed foodstuff, grains. That you know, Hamza. The federal government has distributed grains across the states.
Maybe those who got
You have seen it, haven't you seen it in Kebbi?
Well, maybe the people who got the 50,000, they are family and friends, and they expected 500,000, 1 million.
Not.
You know, because the poor man, Abdullah, I strongly believe
it's
that
just because the
numbers,
the population of the country is so much, and the numbers of those being given. If you talk of the 50,000 for 1 million, that is very minute, but it's something.
So the fear is maybe it is channeled to the wrong quarter.
It is not.
Because the person who are actually bearing the brunt, even 5,000 is big now. We receive calls from family members, acquaintances and all that. People asking you 2,000. And we arrive at this because of some of the policies of President Tinubu. Up to now, people are saying, why did you remove fuel subsidy?
It has to go. It has to go.
And it has gone.
It's because, yes, it has gone.
And the money is nowhere to be found, the savings.
It's not where, how can
yes, okay.
Okay, wait. Have the governors not been given palliative funds?
And what is palliative?
From the, no, just to cushion the effect. This money is for the conditional cash transfer. Isn't a part of it? All this increment in salaries of public servants.
You're talking about increment. Many sees, what happened on the eve of May Day. That was on 30th.
Yes.
When they announced an increment of between 25% and 30%. Even we in the newsroom, we were taken by surprise because we didn't expect that. Many people called that night saying that should be the highest form of deception because the labor were about to mobilize to the streets to protest because there was a committee set up since January to decide what to pay civil servants, to give civil servants living wage, not minimum wage. But on that night, when they announced it, in fact, we asked some of our young people who can calculate. On the minimum wage, the 35% is not more than 7,000.
No.
Yes, Abdullahi. It's not more than 7,000.
No, that's about 35,000 on top of...
No, if somebody is minimum wage, is 30,000. We know that nobody is receiving that maybe in the federal. That is the minimum.
Even before this announcement, if you remember, civil servants were meant to receive that 35.
That is wage grant. Is it 20,000?
Wage grant.
But is this what we bargain for? You people, no. When you are campaigning, you said you are going to give Nigerians living wage. Nigerians are yet to see living wage. If anything, now Nigerians have been pauperized. Many civil servants can't even go to their offices. Are you not disturbed?
That is why some states have introduced the system that you go to office 3 times in a week.
Will that not deplete productivity?
It will not. The advent of COVID-19, were people not working from home? Were you not doing Zoom meeting with your guests?
But is this what you promise Nigerians, or when you see,
Hamza? Truth be told, yes, people are really not happy because of the single decision of removing fuel subsidy. But we have to look at it holistically. For how long are we going to continue to be given subsidy? To be retaining the regime of subsidy? Remember, President Muhammadu Buhari had not made any provision in the budget of last year from...
Beyond July. Yeah.
Yes. So if we had continued, where would we have been now? Would have been in chaos because it means consistent borrowing. But the removal of the subsidy now, this year's budget, is this month that the budget of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu started, April. because the last year's budget was Buhari's budget, which was extended to the end of March, 31st of March, and then this year's budget, Tinubu's administration budget, started from 1st of April. And we have money to fund this budget. It's from the removal of the subsidy. We have money to fund the budget. We have surplus to do other things, rehabilitate our hospitals and so on. But you cannot within a year, honestly, you cannot within a year say you want to see Nigeria become a Dubai overnight, or become Paris overnight, or become developed country overnight. It's a gradual process. We have seen the way he did in Lagos. He set up the policies and programs that become the fulcrum of that administration.
But majority of citizens, yes,
now Lagos
he wants to replicate it.
He is replicating the same.
Okay, I will subject you actually to our viewers who are watching to ask you questions on whether they agree with some of the things you are saying or not. Yes, and viewers, the line is now open. Call the number displayed on your screen and ask the Senior Special Assistant to President Tinubu on community engagement in the Northwest. But even if you are in the North Central or Northeast or Southwest or Southeast or South-South, feel free to ask the honorable question. Okay, we already have one. Okay, who is on the line?
Calling from Taraba State.
You are calling from where?
Taraba State.
Okay, from Taraba. What is your name?
My name is Idris.
Okay, fine. You are welcome to the program. Is it a question you have for Honorable Abdullahi Yakasai, or you want to comment on some of the issues he raised?
Yes, I want to just like.
Hello? Oh, sad. We lost the first caller. Yes, Abdullahi, you can see people are really watching you. This gentleman called from Taraba.
I pray he calls back.
Yes, he will call back.
I really will want to hear his contribution.
All the way from Gebu, after all.
Okay.
You can. Okay, we have another one. Yes, who's on the line? Welcome to the program.
I'm calling from Nasarawa State.
Okay, what is your name?
Thank you.
What is your name?
Desmond, I'm calling from Nasarawa State.
Okay, Desmond, you are welcome to the program. We have in the studio Abdullahi Yakasai.
My name is Desmond, calling from Nasarawa State.
Okay, fine. Go ahead and let's have your take on our discussion.
The guest is welcome. The guest is welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, I want to talk about the cash conditional cash transfer of the Tinubu administration.
Okay. Okay, you want to talk about it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
They are going to. Yes.
All right, Desmond. Yes, he will talk about that. Yes.
They say that there are some people that applied it, and up to now we have not seen anything.
Okay.
And even me, if I applied it, I have never seen my alert.
You see? Okay, thank you, Desmond. Abdullahi, you had Desmond from Nasarawa.
Yes, I had.
He said he applied. He's yet to see the alert.
Okay. You see, why that program?
Yes.
The first one of December.
Yes.
The 25,000 for 3
This
months.
was during the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Beta Edu.
Beta Edu, yes.
Yes.
Because of the hitches and the problems then, the program had to stop.
Yes.
And it's now been investigated, so to say.
Yes, the one that was done
previously.
Yes.
I told you, we, from the 6 geopolitical zones, the senior special assistant, Mr. President,
you are 6 in number.
We are 6.
Yes.
There has never been this position before, just like we said.
Yes.
So we are part of that committee now, working on that register, because we felt there were
anomalies.
So my suggestion to him is...
To Desmond, yeah, because Desmond is not happy.
Desmond...
Probably he is not employed.
Desmond, if you can send me your details, I pray you did not make mistake on your NIN, or your BVN, or your phone number that is attached with the NIN, because it's automated. It can be rejected, the system can reject it.
Okay.
So if he has these details, Desmond,
Good morning. I'm not Desmond. I'm Chris.
Okay.
Okay,
For
Chris.
Desmond, please let him send his details.
Okay, you're calling from where? Chris?
Benue State, Makurdi.
Okay, Makurdi. Okay, we have in the studio Abdullahi Yakasai.
I'm watching you. I'm watching you with Abdullahi. Okay. I want to find out what about the homegrown feeding program that was on earlier before now? Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm with you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the answer to that question.
The homegrown program that was in existence, certainly, we don't know. The government stopped it, and at least it would have assisted in ameliorating the suffering of the people and also those students. And it will also affect so many people, even those that were doing it. So please, can Malam Yakasai say something about that?
For you, Mr. President, His Excellency Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has appropriated 100 billion naira specifically for school feeding, and his budget has just kick-started now. So they are perfecting that one. The school feeding program is going to come back, and it will come back fully, and it's going to money has been appropriated to the tune of 100 billion naira in this year's budget. So be rest assured this program will going to go on, and we'll come back and talk about it so that the Nigerians know that the program has started.
I think he's worried because remember during the former minister of yes, you remember during the former minister of humanitarian affairs, not Beta Edu,
okay,
the lady before her.
Yes,
even during COVID, they said billions of naira were spent, and when asked some questions, they said they followed the children with the food to their houses. But then we have another caller. Let's hear him before you answer the question. Yes, hello, welcome to the program. Hello? It's like we lost that caller. Yes, now I want you to combine these two.
Okay.
Both the school feeding and then even the cash transfer. Which register, or you are registering now afresh for people to benefit from the cash transfer? Because I heard you mentioning NIN, telephone number, and other parameters.
Yes. You see, the school feeding program, these are all programs under the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. And because of the issues, like we've said, it was suspended. But now that register is being verified. If it's verified and all the details supplied are, same and
synchronized,
and synchronizing, then it will surely, the system will pick it and you get your alert.
So those who are having issues, maybe they have issues with the data.
Yes, if some of those having issues is either of the two.
Okay.
Either because of manipulation or because you made a mistake in your submission.
All right, it's like we have another caller. Hello, welcome to the program.
Hello, sir.
Yes, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
I want to ask the guest.
Okay.
Quickly.
Can you reduce the volume of your TV set so that the guest will hear what you are saying?
I want to ask the guest about the payment of manpower.
Okay.
Yes. Those that have finished last 4 years, they were employed, they work, but they have not been paid. And the government is saying that they will pay them. For that, we could not hear anything from them up to now.
It's like
these residential grants.
Yes.
People applied, and we are hearing some report that the flood has been shared to some politicians, and they are even forms out. Those that even applied and were verified, most of them are not receiving. We are hearing some news that.
All right. All right, thank you.
Somehow, want to clarify that.
Okay, he will respond to that. Thank you. I think the question is almost the same. Maybe some are just joining the program.
You just added the N-Power.
Changing of names. Yeah.
Yes, all these are humanitarian programs in the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. And as it is now, all these programs were re-evaluated so that we make sure those people on the register are actually people that are receiving these grants. So please, let's be patient with the government. The government will resume this, the
programs.
Empower, yes, the school feeding, yes, all of it.
But then you are now marking 1 year we are running the program. When are we going to start seeing good roads? When are we going to start seeing cheap food? When are we going to see civil servants, smiling to the bank? Your administration is now
civil servants is because they refuse this. If they have taken this gradually, another year, we have better excess.
Abdullahi, that's when they are alive. But a hungry man will not wait for
does hunger kill?
It does, Abdullahi. I don't want people. I will open the line again for people to ask you.
People will suffer.
Okay, now finally.
Just the word is patient.
Okay, now
just 1 year is not enough to measure the achievements of an administration.
Are you worried? But
so long as you put in the policies and programs on ground, Nigerians should be rest assured that things will change for the better.
Okay, finally, are you worried? States are actually closing schools. Today, we had a story from Kaduna. Over 300 schools have been closed because of insecurity. You are actually, the man of the president on community engagement. Yeah, we have less than 1 minute to
This is very worrying to not only us, but even to Mr. President, issue of insecurity. But if you remember, me and you were in this country. We have had a time when Chibok students were kidnapped. Up to today, we're still talking about it. Mr. President is on top of this situation. The ones that were kidnapped in Kaduna were returned complete. Only one lecturer, I think, one teacher died. But
so what you are saying, there is improvement.
Complete. There's improvement. When was the last time we had Kaduna-Abuja Road closed down for kidnappers? When was the last time? It went to the extent to up to Zaria. It was getting closer to Kano. Kidnapping, different sets of gangs kidnapping. When was the last time So we are doing our best, even now on the Zamfara axis, the hotspot Katsina. Even now, yes. The only thing is we don't have the manpower of the security, so that for every school there will be enough security, police, army to man those.
All right, Abdullahi.
But
I wish we have more time to discuss more on these issues, but we hope you come to the program once again.
I'll come again.
Yeah, and viewers, we've been interfacing with Abdullahi Yakasai. He's Senior Special Assistant to the President on Community Engagement in charge of the Northwest. We apologize. Our former other guest sends his apologies for his inability to make it to the program. Thank you for being with us. Join us tomorrow for another interesting package. Bye-bye for now. I'm Hamza Idris.